Okay, 7 things I love about my 9th gen Honda Civic Si. So, this isn't really in any particular order, but I'll start at number 7. Number 7, daily drivability. What I mean by this is how easy the car is to drive. The transmission is phenomenal. The shifts aren't too long, they're not too short, they're precise. It's so easy. I can shift with just a couple fingers. I eat a lot of snacks while I'm driving, so I usually always have something in my right hand. And it's really easy, like to shift with my palm or just a couple fingers. You just give it a push and it knows where to go. It's really easy. Another thing I really like about the drivability of the car is that it has such small blind spots, which makes changing lanes like much less of an intimidating process. One of my favorite features of the car is there's a small window cutout, which I'll show on screen, in front of the side view mirrors obviously on either side of the car. So this really increases like your visibility when you're parking or when you're turning or whatever you're doing. It just really improves my confidence while driving this car just because it has such good visibility. The new Civics have those lane change cameras, which is really cool, but you really don't need that for this car because you can see so well. Number 6, looks. So there are some visual parts about this car that I don't really care for, which I eventually will change, such as the chrome trim pieces on both the front and rear bumpers. What I'd like to do for those is probably wrap them. I'm not sure exactly what color, maybe, I don't know, matte black or carbon fiber. I'm not sure yet, but I would like to either paint those or wrap them. What I do like, however, is literally the entire car besides those small things. I've been drawn to this car ever since it came out in 2011. I remember in July 2011, I had just got my license. I was living in northern Maine. I drove downstate with my dad, and he bought a 2012 Honda Civic right when they had just hit dealerships. And I remember thinking how cool and modern it was on the inside with all these gauges and colors and readouts. It has the 2-tier like user interface. It was so cool. I mean, 2011, it was awesome. And it still is, it's still cool. I thought it was pretty sophisticated for that time, especially for $17,000, which I believe that's what he paid for it back then. But on mine, on the 2013 Si, I really like the 17-inch aluminum wheels. And I mean, it's a cool mixture of polished silver spokes and like gloss black inserts on the inside. It's really cool. I like the wheels. I don't have an urge to buy aftermarket wheels. I mean, I think it'd be cool, but I like the stock ones. And these wheels are specific to the 2013 model. In the 2012 model, shown on screen here, they had the same like frame as my wheels, but they weren't painted. I mean, they're cool, but I just prefer mine. And then the 2014 and 15 had these fancy looking ones on screen here, which look neat. They're all really cool, but I don't know. I'm drawn to mine. I think it looks great. I love the looks of these seats, although they aren't the most comfortable. And trust me, I drove it on a 3,500 mile road trip from northern Maine to Sacramento. So yeah, they're nice, but they're not super comfortable after a couple hours. So the interior overall is pretty modest, but it does let you know with little details that it's the sport model. So I mean, it has the little SI on either of the front seats, and it has red stitching all over the place. It has red stitching on the shift boot, on the steering wheel, on all the seats. It's pretty cool. It's just a nice little touch. You don't need much. So some other quick things before I move on that I also like about the car. I like the spoiler. I really like the headlight fog light combination. I think it looks really nice. And I just think the car looks, I think it looks pretty sexy. It's not too aggressive, but it doesn't look wimpy at the same time. I don't know, I think it's a perfect balance. I think it looks great. And I do prefer this aftermarket Mugen wing shown on screen here. So maybe I'll get one, we'll see. All right, so moving on to number 5 on my list is performance. And this includes gas mileage and power. So this is my daily driver, and I think for what it is, it performs very well, both in terms of power delivery and fuel economy. And I know that sounds a little boring, but I have a lot of respect for this car after having driven it across country and on several, 300 plus mile road trips. So the 9th gen Civic Si's get their power from the K24 Z7 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder engine, and it puts out 201 horsepower, 170 foot-pounds of torque. For a car that weighs just over 2,900 pounds for my sedan, it goes pretty good. And these engines can be very easily modified. There's so many parts available. I plan on tackling that soon. I already have Flashpro, but I don't have any aftermarket parts, so I'm not going to mess with that yet. On the forum and on the Facebook page for the 9th gen Civics, there are countless owners who have reported modifying them to over 200 wheel horsepower, naturally aspirated. So, maybe I'll get mine there too. So for an MSRP of $23,705, according to Car and Driver in 2013, I think this was a hell of a deal. As far as fuel efficiency, I've been averaging about 29 miles per gallon, and I mostly drive on the highway. I have about like a 45-minute commute one way every day to work, and a lot of that is on the highway. So with the AC on, like all the time the past few months, because it's Northern California and it's been, 90 to 100 plus degrees during the day, I'm happy with that MPG number. And I also drive very spiritedly because it's a fun car, and, here's a clip. Number 4, the aftermarket and the owner's community. The aftermarket and owner's community is great for the Civic Si's. There are always those people who are out, they seem like they're out to get you on the forums and the Facebook groups, but I try my best. You're never going to please everyone. Someone's always going to be upset with something you post on there, so don't let them discourage you. On a brighter note, there is an abundance of information available online for these cars. If you're experiencing a problem, there's probably someone else who has experienced that problem and has talked about it on the forum, and people have helped them figure it out. So it's great. If you need to know how to install a part like a cold air intake, downpipe, a touchscreen, a catback exhaust, there are plenty of tutorials. I mean, exhausts are super easy, but there are plenty of tutorials to install parts and take parts off and do this and that. And I really love how passionate the Honda community is. I'm a fanboy, I'll admit it. For the most part, people are supportive and they'll help you figure out, a problem if you ask. Yeah, there are tons of aftermarket parts available for this car. ProCivic.com has a lot of stuff on there. eBay has stuff too, but from bumper lips to exhaust to spoilers to everything. It really allows you to make the car your own, which is what people love to do with Hondas, specifically, it seems. I think it's always been that way. I plan on tackling the mechanical stuff first, like the bolt-ons, getting it dyno tuned, and then I'd like to install a touchscreen head unit and maybe that Mugen spoiler. We'll see. Number 3, the user interface. In my opinion, the 9th gen Civics have a really attractive interior, especially all the driver controls. It's pretty cool. So the user interface is quite expansive for that price segment, I think. With most of your important mechanical information available to you, like oil life and all the fuel related information, but I wish it had some more digital gauges available, like engine temp, coolant temp, or if those are the same thing, someone correct me. And then like battery voltage, as well as tire pressure. I mean, the car definitely has tire pressure sensors, but 2 of my freaking tires leak. And my tire pressure light comes on about every 2 weeks or so. But it would be cool if we could see each tire specific PSI in real time. Those are super minor things. Other than that, the steering wheel controls are super easy to use, including the cruise control. I also love the shift light indicator, like the VTEC / shift light indicator. It's pretty cool. I don't really look at that when I'm putting it to the floor. I mean, I'm mostly listening to the car, and I'll glance at the RPMs, you know, make sure I shift on time, but yeah. Number 2, the sound of the engine and exhaust. So, okay, first I'll show you guys a couple runs here I made with the car, and then I'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, so what you just heard, what you just saw was basically a stock SI. All I have done, like quote-unquote performance-wise, is an AP muffler was welded on. And I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, for, like, it was a little over $100 to have this guy welded on, and for the part and everything. So I am going to do it right, though, soon. I'd like to get the Q300 exhaust, and then some sort of catted downpipe, and probably a cold air intake, but we'll see. I've heard that the cold air intakes don't really do much for these cars, but I'm sure I'm gonna piss someone off saying that, so someone correct me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to adding some mods and opening up the sound of the engine and exhaust a little more, with a proper tune, obviously. And number 1 is reliability. This car has been a unit. I love this car, and I love Honda for making such a well-balanced, cheap, fun car. I've had this thing all over the place, in all different weather conditions, and it has not let me down. In late December 2017, I moved from northern Maine to Sacramento, and I drove, and during that week, several parts of the country were experiencing record low temperatures. It was absolutely freezing in the Northeast and the Midwest, but my car was flawless. It was great. I actually drove cross country with non-studded winter tires, and it held great. So, I mean, it's been through negative 30-degree weather as well as, you know, 107-degree weather in Northern California. It hasn't had a single problem. As far as maintenance, since taking ownership at 3 years old and 38,000 miles in 2016, I've replaced the battery and a couple of brake rotors. That's it. So at 90,000 miles, honestly, it's in perfect condition. And I don't see myself getting rid of it anytime soon. So if you own a 9th Gen Civic, I'd be curious to hear what you like about yours. And also, if you like my video, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content as I start to build my SI. So thank you, and have a nice day.